You're now tuning into the sounds of the Potnas podcast.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you're at on the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Potnas podcast, where we are delivering our perspective on topics, news, and shit. Second episode of season 7, y'all. Welcome. We are happy to have you.
Yeah, that feels like such like a I don't know, like a maybe mid to late 90s morning show, like introduction, like a Mad Hatter morning show type.
Yeah, Tom Joyner in my case, because I'm a fucking uncle.
Every time he does it, this feels like morning radio, FM radio right now.
Do y'all have any family members who have been on the Tom Joyner cruise?
Of course.
Yes,
well,
aunties.
I don't know.
I would like to go.
say maybe aunties. I would like cousins.
To go. If it's just to experience.
That's still a thing?
Yeah, I like to look at the corners of society. Like that's
the
like
pockets.
Yeah, the pockets of society. I like corners because it's at least they're safe and two sides behind them. But like not the pockets. That's like you just putting them people somewhere higher. But I would like to go just to see how people.
I am going. Well. I'm gonna jump ahead, but I am cruising. I'm cruising this summer.
That word means something far different.
And I almost said pause, but I was like, you know what? Not everyone probably knows that
cruising
word.
is a sexual term.
Like, is it worth even saying? I don't know.
Huh?
Cruising is a sexual term.
Yeah,
now.
you can research that one on your free
time.
Well, let's go ahead for content purposes.
This is not free. The time is not
free right now because my style ain't free.
That's not.
Hey,
I'm not answering any questions about this. You can read it out if you want.
And that's just going to be what that is. Yeah.
Cruising. Slang to be acting in a way that is likely to result in punishment or harm.
Sure.
Often shortened.
I'm so glad that has not been uncovered the way that other terms are.
It hasn't been broken yet.
Yeah, like.
What is the meaning of cruising?
Like the word that y'all keep saying.
To sail from place to place as for...
Okay, give it up, JT.
So as I was saying, though, I've never been on a cruise. Okay. So Tom Joyner just being one of the many black cruises, but I am going on a cruise. So.
All right. This is the last couple of days of Black History Month by the time this episode comes out.
Yeah, man.
In honor of and in recognition of the last episode of Black History Month and Future Month, we wanted to take this time to shout out the Black UT Network, led by our fellow partner TJ Strayhorn. Oh yeah, yeah. Thanks to all of the support that the account has shown to all of the Black Longhorns, both current and alumni, which the three of us are.
And it's very topical because I do want to get you guys' perspective on some shit going on with
TJ should
Black
do
UT right now,
like yearly awards.
That'd be dope.
That'll be really cool.
Niggas that did shit from UT this year, like best female in a philanthropic performance.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Like BET awards.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
And then have some nominees. Yeah, that'd be really dope. Actually, All right, so listeners, post in the comments or send. Shit, never mind.
You can't say get in my DMs, nigga.
No, I was just gonna say, like, if we were live right now, which probably will do something.
He do this shit like a radio show. JT's destined for radio.
Oh,
what?
Let us know.
We should do a Bigo show.
Attended.
Have you ever heard of Bigo?
No, I don't know.
Bigo?
We should go on Bigo once or twice.
Bigo.
Okay.
Before I move.
Is that a location or
no? It is an application. So let's get you on TikTok first, and then
oh goodness,
and then we gonna because I just learned about Bigo as well. It again the depths of society, right? The corners,
the pockets.
It's like where you ever wonder how somebody like maintains a reality career, like. After like 15 years, and it's like, oh, you only getting like paid like $1,000 an episode. Like, how are you making $30,000? Every once in a blue moon. How are you living? Like, and then I realized that Bigo has taken all the traditional like ways that people earn money just for simply being themselves as a character, and they will pay you. So it's basically like a live. It's a platform to go live over and over and over and over again. People like tip you on it too, but it's like really interesting things. Like, have y'all seen like black puppets talking to people anywhere on the internet?
Actually.
That's a Bigo type of.
I got a confession. I was actually pursuing to get a puppet version of me and make some content and put it out. Just because I always was fascinated with like how Sesame Street.
I was about to say, would you do
like
children's content?
Hell yeah,
you can make wild money off of that.
Mad cream,
Like,
G.
and I'm
Grace's
crazy
Corner
money.
right now is
Crazy.
crazy.
money.
My 8-month-old son.
Yeah, Sam
Listens to Gracie's
plays
Corner.
a little bit of Gracie's Corner for Keiko, but I
like,
tell her
there's no
to turn that
black.
shit
We
off
need a black,
sometimes.
black Blippy.
Yeah,
Black
somebody
Blippy.
told me that I should be the Black Blippy, and I was like,
With the beard and all.
but I'm like, then what they gonna do when they see Blippy at the club? Like, how does that work?
Well-
Black Blippy might be at the club.
At the club, yeah.
To be honest,
With Blippy.
I'm not saying that'll be the content, but I'm saying like when their parents, like
Go out,
there'll
they
probably
may
be some
see-
very wholesome black parents that show their children my show, and then they see me drunk somewhere.
But why would they see you drunk somewhere? Because they are drunk as well.
Oh, okay.
You see what
Because
I'm
Bradley
saying?
considers himself an alcoholic, apparently.
I'm not gonna be the
Allegedly.
Black Blippy. I did not. When did
What?
we start that?
When did we start what?
Tizzle, hold on. I gotta let the world know this. Because Tizzle is notorious.
But like just placing things on you, like
hold on.
speaking them.
Check it. JT does this shit sometimes. And like we all have our quirks, we all have our superpowers, and I'm motherfucking just like JT's like this nigga does this all the time. He always, I'll say always, frequently.
9
He'll
times
just,
out of 10.
he'll just pull something out of his pocket and just put it on your lap and make it a part of your story.
And watch,
I'm like-
watch how you react to it. That's kind of
I'm
cool.
like, wait.
Oh, are you talking about when
What?
I told the world
No.
that you was smoking mid?
No, that
No,
was
not
different.
at
That was
all.
just a poor
That was
freestyle.
a
Yeah, that
freestyle
was just a
that I
bad
just came
freestyle
up.
line.
Well, no, the freestyle was
Fresh
good.
off
Sorry,
the
that was a
dome.
poor line. Sorry.
But which therein made the freestyle.
That doesn't hurt my
so
feelings.
great.
I know. Does it not? Is it hit dog hollering?
Y'all tell us what y'all think
pull
about
out this-
J-Style freestyle skills right now. Let me know. In the
Jay,
comments.
what? J Style?
I said
You just
telling
called people. You gave me a new nickname?
He's talking to
to let
Yeah,
to ask
your
the
name
people
is. Do it to him.
what they think about Tizzle's freestyle. skills.
Oh, it's fire.
In the comments.
Yeah, I think. Oh, no. He said the people.
Yeah, we asked
You're,
him.
you're
Yeah.
the artist.
We never did intros.
Sit back and
It's
get the
either
I know, okay, you're right.
but that was I was going to do intentionally. I was like, you know what, we could do something abbreviated. Just
Yeah.
whip it around. It's your boy Dino the Great. That's it.
It's your boy. Cooling and pulling on the mic.
Oh, it's your boy LD. That's he used to say that. All
All
the
right.
time.
It's your boy.
And then you know who I am.
Hey.
You ain't never had a friend like me. It is the greatest explosive partner. Sizzle, the live thrizzle.
And we're back.
And we're back. Just like that. Real
So,
short and
what was
sweet.
the question
So y'all want to
before we
introduce
forgot?
yourselves from now on?
Oh, we can just go quick.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
All right, cool.
that'd be dope.
All right, get the will out. Pull that bitch out.
What? Will?
The wheel. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
the
guys,
wheel.
I'm a magician tonight. That's why I wore this necktie. Scarf.
Hey.
I'm
All
on
right.
that real
Gang
shit.
Murder gang shit.
All right, so we're gonna see what segment we're going to do at the towards the end of the podcast after we get through the highlight topic. All right, and we're only doing one segment this time.
Okay.
all right.
Who did
So,
that? What made us do 2 last time?
You got excited because of the sensory.
No, I
of the
said I
spin
just
wheel?
wanted to spin the wheel again. We didn't have to choose the first one that it went
Okay,
to.
all right. I'm doing it this time, huh?
That does offer some good, satisfying.
All right, and then turn it to Dino.
Without
What do we
breaking
have?
It. That's how.
We have a fit check. Is what we.
Oh, fit
this is a good day for
check.
He likes this.
Wow, this is my
All
favorite
right, cool.
segment.
I got it.
That's my
All right, Bradley, you want to go first?
Sure.
This is his favorite segment.
It's your
Right.
boy. So,
B-Rad Pete.
on the mic.
In
So
the
today
place.
I am just, the weather's been strange, so I'm wearing shorts, and then the first thing that came to my mind with shorts was a sandal. So I have on a mule. We're starting from the bottom.
Yeah.
We're gonna move up to the top.
You,
have on a mule that you can't see, and that's okay. Oh, JT always
He's
does
gonna
that.
pull your
He's gonna
entire
pull it
foot
off.
up. If you
Yeah.
can't get it up, he will.
That's great.
I had a
Show them
conversation-
the front side, baby.
Yeah, with Bradley
No, yeah.
about
an interesting way of doing it.
about high fashion designers
This is the Prada Croc.
making content
Crocker.
and items in apparel for
Croc.
black people, ethnic people. And I always thought, I told him a couple of years ago, whenever those designers would make
Does that say
stuff for
Brad on the
us,
back?
No, it says Prada.
Oh, okay.
that I thought that they were knockoffs. because I was like Prada and Gucci and Dolce and Gabbana.
Dolce.
Dolce? I said
Niggas
Dolce.
been wearing that shit all the time. They just used to not put their shit all over the front of their items like Tommy Hilfiger did in the 90s and stuff. So,
but this is like an Astro Boy inspired.
All right.
Croc.
So,
product,
then I also just have on a bunch of Shein, and that's okay.
Yeah. Very YG inspired.
Also have
huh?
on yes, I love me some YG.
What are your socks?
My
They have
socks are
crosses
from,
on them.
It was Sheen, Sharp Sheen. If you had a TikTok, you know that one.
Yeah.
Sharp
Okay.
Sheen. But yes, just a bunch of Shein shit and some rings. I got a ring that says I'm a G on my pinky. It'll be tarnished soon. I have a Nike ring that is still going hard, so shout out to Aisha for that one. And a little necktie on today. My outfit looks better when I'm still
An ascot.
And
Listeners,
you're pushing
Scarf.
I need y'all. Okay, if you're watching,
it. And if
And
you
you're
agree
seeing-
with him, go ahead. I'm gonna let you ask a question. And
because
I'm letting you know
Fred
now.
from
No, let
Scooby
him
Doo
get it out, let him
had
get
an
it out.
ascot or a scarf. I need y'all to like.
Well,
this
not-
is going to be a piece of content that we're probably.
That's
gonna
actually
put
not
out.
what we're
But
arguing.
that's not the point of contention. The point of contention is what is on his
What is on
neck
my neck?
right now.
And it's
His justification of it being an ascot is Fred off of Scooby Dooby Doo.
because it is in the
That's like
same.
saying-
It's tied.
It is tied
in
the
a knot.
exact same way that his is, and it has the two tails
And what
and
I'm
the
trying to
knot
tell you
around his neck.
is that your whole childhood might have been a lie. Okay,
You can tie a bandana
then-
like that.
Okay, all
I
right.
almost wore one, but
so
I
then
didn't wear
would
those
this become an
I think
ascot if it was a
I think the
bandana?
way that it's tied and the placement around your neck is what makes it an ascot.
What do you think this looks like if I were to take it off and unravel it?
Oh, good question.
It looks like a rag or a scarf. Yes.
What if it
and then
were-
you wrap it
Wait,
around?
wait.
If you wrap it around
Wait.
without tying it, then it's a
Rag
scarf.
or a scarf.
And if
Okay.
you tie it
But he didn't
and then
say
you put it
ascot.
in the
So
way that you did, all right. No, okay. So is ascot?
No. Because yes, when you untie
The
like
way
a bow
that
tie,
the way that I'm
you know what that looks like.
So-
It's tied.
the way that I'm describing ascot is clearly is could be considered a type of tie, like a type like a
That's
style
what we're saying.
of knot.
Well, no, it's not. It's,
Okay.
it's a type
It's
of tie.
probably
You
it's
had it right
kind of
the
like
first time.
Jews, you know, like they're
So
both
what is an ascot then?
religion and a culture type of thing. Like it could be the same sort of idea. So,
So
maybe
what's the difference between an ascot and a scarf or
Okay.
whatever
So-
the fuck you got on your?
actually, I'm not going to answer that question. If you had to buy a
'Cause you don't know.
If,
No,
no,
there
I'm
is.
going to tell you something. If you had to buy a pre-tied, because the girls love a pre-tied bow tie. What do you think that would look like?
Guys do too, huh?
No, I was.
It would look like a
I'm
bow
talking
tie.
guys
That
and
was
girls.
saying.
Because
It
if
was
you
like
wearing a pre-tied bow tie, you're a lady.
Oh,
Anyway,
damn! Wow.
you got. I mean, you
Oh,
can't
you
learn how to
yourself in that
tie a
action.
bow tie. It's
No,
not
but
that
the
hard.
point is that bow tie has a shape when it's untied. An ascot also looks
What?
different than
Yes.
a scarf does untied.
Yes, I was trying to land that plane, but yeah, that the original point makes that sense too. And then also, I was going to say something important. If you had said something that I can't remember, and everything's okay.
Boy, if you don't get
Do you know what do you have on?
no ascot or a scarf, I did almost wear a bandana,
Scarf
but
got-
I would have got accused of
You
wearing.
fulfilled your promise and roared a
That's what you
dashiki.
said.
I told you guys, yes.
But is
This
it a new one?
Yeah, well, new to them, nigga. Shit.
Right. That's all that matters.
No, because my new one, I do have a one that is new, but I decided I'm going to say that for something coming up. So you niggas going to see that real soon. And I don't post often on social media, so it'll likely pop up before the month's over. But it is Black History Month, so I held true to that. Shout out to all those out there making Black history, because there's a lot of us doing that, breaking generational curses.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All of us are doing that in some way, so celebrate y'all. Spoiler alert, that could be the toast, goddamn.
Okay.
But what I will say in terms of what I'm rocking is a dashiki, made tailored to my fitting because I'm a slender fella. You know what I'm talking about?
That sounds like Cinderella, but like the male version.
The male
Slender fella.
version, yeah.
Got the
that's-
gold
that's what I am.
97s on. With
gold
the,
97.
Hey, them hot. I
yeah,
love those.
and
Every
then
time I
the Jamaican inspired colored socks.
They're just ethnic print. You know what I'm talking about? They match with the dashiki. You feel me?
What size pants do you wear?
Damn, that's personal.
yeah.
That's like what size drawers you got on.
Yeah, like
Why?
what your drawers smell like.
No, it's just because
Those are
like
vibes.
it was tied into what you had said earlier.
He's a slender fella.
Yeah. So
Oh, I mean,
you
I'm
wear
not-
30 or 29?
Damn.
28?
No, damn.
It's not even that.
It's smaller?
No, I mean that you went that small. I look like I wear a 25.
I wear a 32, so I know for a fact that you
what?
that you like at least
What you
4
wear,
sizes down.
22, nigga. I think Sam went.
What size is the waist? Let's go in. You remember that from Rush Hour?
No, I remember that line.
Never mind. All right.
Damn.
Your turn.
It was when they.
So you're wearing a 32.
Pant,
32 size.
32, 34.
Actually, it's a 34 Zara skinny cropped.
So those are big
pants.
around the waist, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, because I needed room for
That's
my
34. I swim in a 34.
We
needed room for my
gotta
nuts.
tell the people what we've learned thus
because I'm
far.
a fat ass.
If you go to Zara, do not buy carrot fit.
Yes.
Oh,
It's some
please,
new
yeah.
shit
It
I've
is the
never.
worst.
Carrot is like for ice cream cone bodied people.
No, I mean I don't know who it fits.
And watch for the they're really meant to be rolled
maybe.
up at the bottom, but also watch so you can look like Giveon or something. But watch for the for anything cropped unless you don't intend on having something. I mean, unless you intend on having a crop. Because there've been so many times where, and I don't have nothing against a crop pant if I want to wear something cropped.
I wasn't looking for it.
You know, in Zara too, like you have to pay attention to the wording on the tags because there was two different tables, and the table that I got these pants from, the tag said skinny cropped pant, and I was like, okay. And then the table next to it,
skinny pant.
No, it didn't have the word crop in it, but it said skinny fit pant, and I was like, what's the difference? Why did they not include fit in
it's
my
the
mind?
fucking crop.
Yeah.
Well, no, because they had cropped in there, but they didn't have fit on my tag. So then when I took both of them to the fitting room,
but the other one didn't have crop.
Fam, the skinny fit, I couldn't even put it on. Like,
damn.
I could not get these fucking things past my thigh for the life of me. Yeah. And then these pants that I have on, they fit like a slim fit, like a super slim fit, not a skinny or super skinny fit.
Give
but
me
like,
baggy, dragging the ground.
Anyways, I got Zara black pants
that are
on.
tight enough that if I were to catch an erection, you would see it immediately.
Yeah.
And the reason why I like these pants is because like the crop fit actually sits on top of my shoe, the way that
so
my body is structured.
Yeah.
I have a long.
He made sure you gonna see how cropped them.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
And then I took off my shoe. I have a Los Angeles 30th anniversary of the Air Max 90s. And then it actually has my birth date year on it, 1991.
Air Max.
You wore that Nike ID out, but is this a?
No. I didn't design these.
Oh, really? Oh, it just said that. That's dope. I love that. No, the year.
Yeah, 1991.
I thought you said my initials on
because
the
they came out in 91.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm tripping.
And then it has 221 on the other shoe.
And the back is dedicated to me. I love that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
LA. Yep, exactly. Los Angeles. And then it's orange as well that matches the hair of one of my anime characters on my shirt. I have actually like 4.
One of your favorite anime characters.
Yeah, one of my favorite.
You said one of
No,
my.
Ed isn't my favorite character from Cowboy Bebop, but she's really dope. I'll try to stand up for the people so that they can see.
Well, you could just give them. Okay.
You can give them a description.
Yeah, that was all right. You can do that too.
Like that shit?
I knew you was gonna take this fit check as far as you could.
Like the back of it.
Show them your draws too. Just turn around, fucking moon them. Fuck it.
Show them the racetracks and draws. Just give them up.
Wow, that was really.
The only reason why I poke my ass out like that. The only reason why I poke my ass out like that.
You poked your ass out?
Is because I had to hinge. Like I've been doing these. I've been doing these Apple Fitness.
I'll say that's racist.
Okay.
These Apple Fitness videos. I never thought I would see the day where I'd be
I should've
fucking
did
following
that today.
videos like
What, Apple
like how
Fitness?
women do.
You told me about them last week, and
Yeah.
I should have really did them today because I felt bad about not going to the gym. It was just
They're really awesome.
It was a long
But
time.
the trainers that I follow on and do the workouts with, they have like keywords and buzzwords that they've been using, like boom, or and then you're gonna hinge your spine, whatever, straight spine. Make sure that your tailbone is tucked in or poked out, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah,
and
those are pretty common.
Yeah, but I've never heard hinge as much as I've been hearing it.
I use that shit just in everyday lexicon.
Yeah.
I make sure I say.
Actually, you know what?
It's not-
You're kind of right. Well, not kind of right. You're right. I feel like when I do guided exercise, people talk about hinging your spine, but like a trainer just be like, okay, bend over and make sure your back's straight.
Yeah,
Depending on what.
But I feel like they just say that because they all kind of have the same L&D, learning and development, track, and they all end up in these interesting training jobs. I wonder what the trainer world is like. I wonder if people are married. And
I love the Apple Fitness app because
and we shouting them the hell out.
I've just learned so much, and they're all
We'll take a
professionals, right?
sponsorship.
A lot of the trainers are from Canada, surprisingly. But anyways,
Somehow we got back there.
Canadians are like the Pop-Tart to toaster strudel.
Oh, damn. Depending on who you talk to.
You mean they're the
may
toaster
prefer-
strudel to Pop-Tart?
No, he said what he meant.
They're
Okay.
the Pop-Tart to our toaster strudel.
That's what I
Damn.
Dallas.
Yo, you said they're knockoffs.
No, they're two different
they're
things.
not.
They're Pop-Tart
two
to
different
ours
It's a
toaster
real thing.
strudel.
Pop-Tarts
And
are
toaster
very
is a real
authentic.
thing. Yeah, they're
But like, what would
authentically
you
a thing.
rather have?
I thought that toaster strudel was the better version of Pop-Tart.
Well, then
Yeah,
you
it
think
is.
toaster strudel is better then. There's some people
But
who
he
eat
said
Pop-Tarts.
they're the
America's
Pop-Tart.
better than Canada.
But there are people
Yeah,
who would
I
like
know.
Pop-Tarts
So I said
over
that's what I was
Pop-Tarts.
saying.
But from authenticity, I
Okay.
mean, not from authenticity standpoint, from a standpoint of like being naturally like the thing. Like it's a like they're both trying to be breakfast things, but like it's like okay, America, like we're actually the. I don't want to say the real thing is not authenticity. Like we're more like we're more down to earth pastry, and they're like the perfect they're like perfect white people.
So
like,
then they would be
if white people could be like not on opioid crisis right now, or like on like all the interesting things white people been doing. Y'all might need to cut this part out.
I was gonna say
then
this is like
they're like
It's always gonna
Canadians.
make
racism.
Yeah.
If you could be racist
if
to white
you
people,
could be
you
racist to
couldn't,
white
but-
people as a
yeah,
black person, that's
yeah.
impossible.
But my point is, this would be if you could be.
Well, that was our fic check.
All right.
Oh, and then I had the Astros hat on. I forgot
Oh, he
to
just
mention
had
that.
to-
All right, let's get into news.
Golly, man. Bullshit going on.
I'm really talking about white people being on opioid crisis.
That's horrible. I mean, it's a real thing, too.
It is. I really feel bad about that too.
Do you?
All right, so we have
Did they feel bad
quite a
about
few.
About the crack epidemic? No, not
Never
at all.
mind. It's Black History Month,
A little
so
bit.
honestly.
Ooh, but I do want to get back to the news.
Let's hear about the news.
in the news?
We got 4 different topics. I'll let y'all pick, and if we can touch on base on all of them if we want to. But DEI revoked. Quavo ends Migos. Brittney Griner back to playing basketball. Jonathan Majors Ebony cover. Which one y'all want to go first?
I'm between the
Okay, we just got done talking about blackness and stuff. Let's talk about that diversity thing because I want to talk about UT.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. The University of Texas Systems Board of Regents.
Yes, that's it.
All right, has put a pause on. I've never read
glad
that
you
word before.
asked.
Good job.
I'm glad you asked instead of embarrassing
What's a
yourself.
regent?
It's like
It
a
was like
leadership.
a,
I would say board, but it's like a
Advisory.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, the University of Texas Systems Board of Regents
There you go.
has put a pause on all new policies that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion at its 13 university and health campuses, and asked all school leaders to provide a report of their current DEI policies. The move comes from Governor Greg Abbott the move comes after Governor Greg Abbott sent a letter to public university and
paraphrase this shit.
You
and
want me to
state
read?
agents. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We just
I
paraphrase
didn't
it,
think he
guys.
was really gonna give up the phone.
No, hold on, check it. We could just paraphrase it.
I
Yeah.
don't want to paraphrase it
I
because
know what
I
happened.
want to make sure we talk from.
No, that was worded really weird.
We
no,
doing-
I know.
We're
And
doing the
this was-
news.
We could
too.
just colloquially.
The move comes after Greg. I can't wait. This
Yeah, see, I'm telling
No,
you.
he's like a voiceover
All
artist.
Go ahead, Bradley.
The move comes after Greg Abbott sent a letter to public university and state agencies last month claiming DEI hiring practices violated federal and state employment laws. Law experts have said the governor's office mischaracterized the legal practices employers use when considering diversity in their hiring. The UT board chair, Kevin, what's his nigga name? Kevin Etelife?
Oh, I like him.
El Tife
no.
said that while the system strives to promote diversity amongst its students and faculty, certain DEI efforts have strayed from
No, fuck
from
that
the
nigga.
original
Fuck that
intent
nigga. Fuck
to
that.
now imposing requirements and actions that, rightfully so, has raised the concerns of our policymakers around those efforts on campuses across our entire state.
Pause. Have we defined what DEI is?
Wait,
for the
pause.
listeners?
Like, he nailed that shit first off. You got to give him applause for that.
Good job.
You sounded like
I think
a Toyota
so.
going places
We
commercial.
understand what's happening with them.
Yeah.
But how
So
we define?
DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then you're supposed to be like, ding.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, too late. Oh,
Okay.
he got it there.
Do your own lookup of the difference between equality and equity.
But whenever you hear that about companies or business, they're basically saying we need to hire more minorities to be in positions of opportunity.
Make sure it's
However,
something.
and this is why I wanted to talk about this because I spent a good chunk of time trying to fight that fight for the university. Really, I didn't do much. I just really wanted to go to DC. And I was, by the time we was done arguing with the Supreme Court, I had became the president of that organization. That's crazy. I just fought that fight from freshman year all the way to my senior year. But, again, didn't fight much. But anyway.
Stop selling yourself.
I don't mind.
You're selling yourself really short.
We do that. It's called self-sabotage.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually in a program right now that...
Alliance president for like the past 2 years.
I just learned everything. I just learned how to be a higher functioning version of the self you just heard, and I'm just not even doing it right now. That's sad. So, but yeah, so we talked a lot about the critical mass of diversity, right? So it's not just like we need more niggas, right? Even though that might end up happening, right? Like when there are programs in place, just like, okay, we need to up the ante, and niggas, we're just gonna find some niggas. Well, the you know, like for real, that's how companies approach.
All you gotta do is just be semi-qualified.
But like then there's like also, which is so amazing that Austin is a great place for this to be happening, because really diversity needs to be fixed in that town. Because they kind of set the precedent. It is the capital of Texas to begin with.
Really homogenous.
Right. There is a critical mass of diversity when it comes to white people in town that they oftentimes play with to satisfy that quotient. So unfortunately, you know, sometimes it does need to be, we just need more niggas, you know, type of thing. Or we need to have more niggas at our school.
But I thought... I'm sorry.
The top 10% rule.
Oh, they fucked that up. It ain't 10 no more though.
I know. It's like 6. The top 4%, because you know it's just the capacity of the university. I understand that, but the top 10% rule did make it possible for just about any nigga who was smart enough at their school to come to UT. Right?
That's how it got there.
And that offended white folks because any public school in Texas, and that offended white folks in 2008 all the way through 2013. A specific white woman.
Yeah. Oh, what's her name? Say her. Don't say that motherfucking name.
Blankagale Blanker.
What we got to say?
She and it starts with the first letter of the alphabet.
Abigail.
Abigail Fisher thought that. I think it was like, this is a loose quote, but like
I forgot about her.
I didn't.
Loose quote, but in other words, she said basically lesser qualified. That allows for lesser qualified niggas to get in.
Yeah, more
qualified white folks. When in actuality, that's not always the case. Even when you just grab a handful of niggas from somewhere, which is amazing, you know, because it's like, we are kind of, you know,
we're not even talking about how, you know, like.
But also, what she fails to realize is that when you take a look at the rate of dropout for black students at UT, that is very high. The stagnant rate of admission of black students to UT would point that there is not a critical mass of black people and furthermore diversity at the university. So we won that at the time, but now, you know, Hot Wheels came through here just tearing rubber out.
Just
like I gotta fix one more thing before I have a spinal.
Again. All right, so I'm gonna stand on the opposite side of this for content purposes and a little bit of. Well, hold on. Well, just hear me out.
I want to hear you out.
So,
like, purposes.
Not necessarily. I'm gonna speak in the context. Let's say hypothetically that he's not a bigot, right? And he actually is looking at it from a standpoint of good business and good, like doing it the more ethical way, right? As in, like, you need to put people in these positions. Rather, you need to stop prioritizing DEI so high on the criteria for hiring, and bring it back down to where it belongs, and then make the qualifications and the prerequisites for the position. Like, you need to prioritize those
that's
things.
Still a thing. Everybody who would be hired through a diversity and equity and inclusion program would still meet the baseline requirements to fulfill the position. These aren't unqualified people.
Right. When we looked at,
I think he's telling the schools to go back and look
better white people.
What?
That's what that sounded like.
Again. Just enthuse me and indulge me in this hypothetical. Mm-hmm. But maybe he's coming from the standpoint of, hey, like, take a look at your policy and see if y'all have gotten it wrong. That's all I want y'all to do. It's just basically do an audit, like how Jay-Z did with Bacardi, right?
I feel
that. So just conduct an audit of your policy and see if y'all have been missing the mark as far as hiring people. Like, if y'all been hiring niggas in these positions and they're not completely qualified, like if it requires a particular certification and they don't have it, or they're in the process of doing it, don't hire them until they have it.
Guess who's running the shit, baby? White folks. So if it's failing, majority's fault.
But what do we do when we allow them to basically be in the room and make decisions for like during Black History Month, like making freaking African apartheid ice cream and shit, and then putting that and marketing that?
Those are lower level issues because they're going to make a fool of themselves to begin with.
But I'm just using that as an example of like how they
when it comes to
when that became a federal law.
Doing a Black History program.
You know how much Juneteenth merch appeared out of magic and
Juneteenth ice cream at Walmart.
Everywhere
because we celebrated it at an all-time high these past 2 years, and they want
federal holidays.
Right. So when it started booming,
the commercialization of a holiday that had been since I've been celebrating, that had been. So we got to figure out how we can make it good when we close.
Just push your mic away.
But
he can't help it. He's going to speak all in the mic.
But this is something that I've been selling since I was a boy. You know what I'm saying? So like, to see it commodified and commercialized was so bizarre. But it goes back to something I was saying earlier. It's like, okay, if I were to entertain that hypothetical, it still points back to something that I feel is like, okay, even if I were to suppose that is all true, like, let's say, okay, cool.
Yeah, with the hypothetical that
it still does not get to the heart of the issue, which is this is not something that's isolated to just hiring practices. This extends across the spectrum, bro. Like education. You have Ron DeSantis who's passing legislation against like anti-woke, which they have hijacked the term.
Who is Ron
woke.
DeSantis for the people, for the listeners?
He's the governor of Florida, and he's a Trump acolyte. And he's even crazier.
What is his ethnicity? Does anybody know?
It don't even matter. Yeah.
DeSantis, is that?
Hell no.
Is that one of those moments where you think it's like
whatever he is,
where y'all thought Ariana Grande
supremacy.
was Spanish, but it was really Italian?
Italian, right?
You know, I don't know.
I really wanted her to be Mexican.
Regardless, he definitely practices a very concentrated form of white supremacy.
Yes.
Even if he's
that's why I wanted to figure out what
white
his
Hispanic.
ethnicity was.
Okay, yeah. And they're the worst.
Like,
they're worse than white people sometimes.
Like, what's his name? The fucking Cruz? The
Ted Cruz?
Yeah. He's like the worst form of filth, bro.
But let's bring this to Neiman Marcus, the Neiman Marcus president, right? Or CEO, where he was basically saying, I know, it wasn't trying to.
How do we get here? Okay, go ahead.
So the example that I'm trying to correlate with this particular hypothetical is what he got. Wasn't there a New York Times post that came out basically that where they interviewed him, or he did a press conference basically saying, I only want rich, like, or I'm paraphrasing, but I want rich people to shop here because they make up 1% of or I forgot what the percentage was, but essentially what he said was, I want rich people continuing to shop at my store because they're the ones that are contributing to our success. And I need to make sure that I take care of my stakeholders and my shareholders and the customers that are contributing directly to our success. I'm not gonna conform to the lesser, economical community because that's not going to take care of my stakeholders and my shareholders.
Can I be honest with you?
So that's essentially, it sounds like what he's trying to do in my hypothetical. Okay. Now we know that this Hot Wheel motherfucker is definitely not for us, and we know his true intentions.
Well, he's specific. How do I say this? So he specifically is.
Thank you for being patient.
So
I know
in your example, I'm so sorry. In your example of that store, that will be like, okay, I'm going to cater to a particular type of people, and they just so happen to be a particular race.
Yeah.
Whereas there is, and actually, I'm sure that's not the case. I just want you guys to think about how you even know what Neiman Marcus is. It's probably somebody black that sang it in a song.
Yeah.
Or had the money to shop.
It wasn't because you were driving by and thought, let me check that out.
Think about how many times Young Thug says Neiman Marcus in one album. Gotcha, bitch. Or literally anyone else.
And I did.
So I want you to understand that there probably is the scale is heavier on non-black folks because just based off of how wealthy we are.
So what's the point that you're trying to draw?
Whereas Hot Wheels, Hot Pocket, he does not have any. You're supposed to be for the betterment of all of your people. Your priorities are different. Nobody needs anything from Neiman Marcus. Let's start there. Nobody there's not a single need up in there. Yeah. We don't even sell water. That's free.
Damn.
Okay, well, they don't even sell water. That's free.
Yeah.
Whereas, as the governor of a state in which people decide to live and grow other humans in, let's zoom all the way in. Right, the point of life is to whatever the fuck,
and to eventually get admitted to a university,
to live, or to get admitted to a university, etc. To affect policies that affect people's actual lives, in favor of a particular.
Well, I only brought up the Neiman Marcus example because I was trying to correlate it to the hypothetical of what he was trying to the intent behind auditing the DEI policies, for that particular program, right? Because he was probably looking at it from the Abigail Fisher standpoint.
But here's the thing for me that makes that different. It's okay, and this is what I was gonna get at with the whole the thought process behind comparing the two. I'll be honest. Oh, buddy, when with the clothing store, with the luxury store, the luxury goods. That's honestly just good business practice. I'll be honest with you. You want to try to attract the clientele that makes you the most money and take care of them the best. That does not mean you want to repel other clientele. As I say, you want to cast your net, in a certain direction toward a certain target, hit that, and then if you hit other people in the in the periphery of your net, then that's beautiful. That's awesome. And some of us are in the periphery of the net.
Yeah, but y'all are missing the point though. But
hold on. I want to bring it home real quick. I want to bring it home real quick. So there's that, right? But then there's also, and the stark contrast to me is that Hot Wheels, for instance, even in this scenario, if it were, hypothetically for the betterment of, let's say, good business practices, we're trying to make sure that we're spending money in the best places, or we're trying to get the best people. What's the catalyst for you even looking into this? If it were businesses because, we want to maximize our profits. Are you losing money? No. So why are you, do you have more people of color in position? Yes. What else is different that's making you look into this thing?
And that right there,
and who is it hurting?
And who is it? That's all my
right.
point.
And that's what.
So why are we even why is this nigga?
See, but you asking that question. But you asking that question, I was literally about to say that my devil's advocate position of the argument was diffused with that point. But then when you said who is it hurting, that's where it revitalized again, and I restored my position of the argument, because I'm basically saying that I feel like if I'm calling it out, so when Jay-Z called that audit on Bacardi, right, he was basically saying, I feel like that I have more inventory and it's producing more sales. What was it then?
G,
what was it then?
It was simple. The thing about it, when you have a partnership,
he felt like that he didn't have
when you have ownership of something, it is not irregular in business to audit and to say.
But why did he call the audit though?
The goal is money.
Why did he want the audit though? Why did he want the audit?
He may have wanted to see an earnings statement. He wanted to, bro. It's normal practice for your accountant.
But hold on. If you know the scenario,
his accountant was like, "Yo." He probably sat down for a regular routine meeting with his accountant and was like, "Yo, Bacardi. Let's say there was an annual earnings call or annual statement or something. He's like, hey, they said they only made 1.3 mil. I feel like a lot of people bought Duce this year. We spent 2.3 million in advertising alone. I say let's audit that. There's a million scenarios we could paint. My point is, him auditing is not irregular. So this was this big deal when they've been auditing and negotiating salaries and doing all of these sharing and spreading wealth. All of these years, putting each other in position. All of these years centuries, and we're just now but Jay-Z is why are you asking questions?
Darian,
because he owns part of this.
Right. I'm not questioning the my argument.
I don't think, buddy, is I don't think he's just pure-heartedly. Oh well, let's see what's going on.
I'm concerned about the business.
No, but he knows how he's playing the game.
Equity and inclusion is him looking into is purely political. Is the point I'm making? Just like Ron DeSantis, which he's not going after business, he's going after education, and he's trying to kill he's calling woke, education. There, bro. The fact that they're so
he knows how to work within the binds of
butthurt over what is it called?
Y'all
Critical
think he
race
felt
theory.
uncomfortable when he learned Black history like in elementary school? I wonder if he
We didn't learn Black history for real.
I guess he didn't because he was
Look,
still living.
we're going down too many tangents and rabbit holes. The point that I was trying to bring with that hypothetical was like, of course he can call. Like we know that he can call an audit
Why we
for
still
whatever
talking about
because this is exactly what.
Why we still talking about this?
Because we were trying to.
Okay.
We're never gonna get to a resolution on this. Remember, this was
I'm
the
not
news.
trying to get to necessarily like a resolution.
What is the news?
No, but
we are the news.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
That's news every day and every day. Fuck, what is it called?
So if you was taking a devil's advocate here, you lost.
Hook 'em horns.
you need to finish y'all's ideas.
Hook 'em horns.
I did.
When we're talking. I know you did, but he didn't.
Fuck you.
He
fuck OU and
he went
fuck Aggies.
point on top of point on top of point.
Yeah,
and
he
then
was giving you a
intersected.
list of reasons why this man is
Right,
It's
but he never
attacking
completed
black
all of
No,
this.
when
Okay.
you kept coming back with this, defending this devil's advocate hypothetical that
With
even
a
you don't
business
believe
case.
in, but it didn't even.
But you
like,
did.
this-
So
I
with
was
the
just
Jay Z,
countering it.
what I was trying
You
to say with the
compared him to
Jay Z thing,
which is
no. I'm not comparing him. I'm comparing the situation and the hypothetical of this is what he's trying to do. Conduct an audit because I feel like y'all been hiring niggas that aren't qualified into the position. Wait, stop. And,
Why we
and,
still-
and
why we still
stop.
going down this
Wait.
hypothetical,
Let
like,
me finish my
rabbit hole?
point because I let you finish. So,
and we were done.
fam,
Why we still talking about
never
Greg
mind.
Abbott, bro?
No, because you're not trying to hear my point out.
No, we all heard your point, and we all
What's the point then?
countered. We all countered the point.
No, you countered it
He
without
was-
me finishing. The reason why I brought up the Jay-Z thing was because he wanted that. I asked you to explain why he wanted the
What was
audit
the
because he
question?
had a meeting with his accountant and with Bacardi, and he found out that or he felt like what his product was not. Was making more money than what they were reporting. And so he said, nah, I need y'all to, I'm going to go ahead and conduct an audit then. And that's why the audit happened. Exactly what but I asked you, what was the reason? And you said, it doesn't even matter the reason or whatever, but you can call an audit for whatever. And that's exactly the reason why I brought up the hypothetical of why he wanted to conduct the audit because I feel like that y'all are unethical with the DEI. I feel like y'all are prioritizing that over the actual qualifications of hiring people in the hiring process.
If we're looking at
let's reset because I think
ethics,
we're just running in a
ethics.
circle.
There are some ethical policies that are involved with the production of goods that are consumed, right, or like the to affect like people, which most products affect people, but. In the case of alcohol, so let's zoom all the way out here. In the case of alcohol,
okay,
they only really have to make sure that people don't die when they taste it. There's not really much ethics. So to try to make it seem like that
percentage alcohol volume.
To make it seem like
example.
ethics. You said the word ethics.
Yeah.
And it resonated. It actually brought your example into clear view. Like I see what you're saying and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy because these are completely unrelated experiences because this is about if you zoom out, education is heavily involved with money, but it should really not have much to do with it.
Right.
Whereas this is not only a business that's out to make as much money as they can, but also a consumable, like a drug. Like what the fuck?
It has to be aimed at someone.
No conversation should ever be juxtaposed to the education of people.
Yeah. Something that is supposed to feed all,
ever go together.
like juxtaposed against something that is
is
very high in niche
consumption. They don't even.
No, don't get me wrong. He is. I was literally standing on that opposite end for content purposes and for the sake of the argument. But however, spotlighting the DEI policy and trying to prevent ethnical people from getting into the university and having the opportunity and being afforded the opportunity to be able to progress yourself and your livelihood and your education. Yeah. All right.
We have time for one 45-second news topic. Let's see.
Which one do you want to do? Quavo, Brittney Griner, or Jonathan Majors?
Oh, none of them, huh? Okay.
I feel like congratulations to Brittney Griner for coming back and signing that 1 year.
And don't you take no weed back over there.
Yeah. Oh no, I think she learned her lesson. That's why she cut all them locks. And then Quavo basically came out with a song saying that Migos is done. And how do we feel about that?
He said more than that, and I don't have much to say about that.
Migos is.
I don't like Quavo. I don't like I don't like Quavo as a person.
Takeoff, Migos is already done. Like
Well,
it's never gonna be the same
only reason
thing.
we're talking about Quavo is because Takeoff passed away.
Yeah. And also Brittney Griner cut off her dress because she was in a fucking cell for having a little bit of weed, and her dreads kept fucking freezing after she took showers. That's very sad.
That's why I
actually.
didn't comment on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
It's really insensitive.
I was going to say something about.
I do think that your ass shouldn't have had them carts though. You learned your lesson.
Yeah, but I mean, and I mean, whether or not it was truly an accident is
You
up
thought
to
she was above the
one's
law.
Jonathan Majors.
Or she just forgot.
Didn't know.
I've done that. I literally flew and was like, oh damn, and I made it.
But think about how aloof you have to be to
cared.
have that many carts on you.
Well,
in the
that's a
airport.
different thing. Yeah.
Like,
well,
you,
no,
like,
or just you making
you
mad
just think
cream
you're that
and you got money and you just bought a bunch of them.
And
hoes.
that's why it brought her right back down to earth.
That's not funny.
All right,
but
and then the last topic, or the last thing in the item in news, Jonathan Majors. He's the actor playing. He's the villain or the antagonist in Creed 3 and in
For a better news topic?
the antagonist for the MCU. Sure,
Yeah.
it's also news. And
Why'd you give me Lovecraft Country then?
and Lovecraft
he's
Country.
So good at that.
I was like,
That's-
why'd you give me
Jonathan
that
Majors. The controversy behind that, he starred on the cover of Ebony Magazine, and he's basically being emasculated is what the controversy that people have been saying. But I
is that what
actually
you're
like the dope concept.
It's so much more nuance to it. That's why it's not as much. Once we get to it, it's not as much to discuss as I do think that there is with something that ties directly. And I'm gonna be honest with you because I'm wearing a dashiki and it's Black History Month, and my locks
Okay.
are them that touching my nipples.
All right.
I do not. Let me see. I'm gonna soften a little bit because I almost went all
Nipples
the way.
and locks was already a little youth.
What?
That was erotic.
I mean, but like they legit.
Yeah. Is that the reference? You could have said armpit length.
No, they passed that. G. Though I'm saying.
Wait, your nipples are lower than your armpits?
This is my nipple right here.
Yeah. Line up. Anyway, go ahead.
Your nipples are definitely lower than your armpits, my nigga. What is going on today?
Could you imagine those?
All in your neckline and shit?
All right, let's leave news.
No,
I'm ready to leave the news.
Hold on, real quick. This is real quick. This is
Come
important.
on.
This is very important. So we talking about. We spent so much time on Governor Greg Abbott.
I'm so mad about that.
He was fighting
Because I'm the
for this.
navigator
Really
of
my
this shit.
fault. We are watching
Our listeners are going to appreciate that.
No, they are not. So
Yes, they are.
They're gonna hate
They're gonna hate that we still talking
Fine.
about this nigga.
Then-
You resurrected that conversation like 3 times, or maybe
That's why I have show notes. That's exactly why I have show notes, and they can click the
we
number.
talked about it
Back
one
up from the
time.
mic.
We also need to edit out me talking about the opioid crisis.
That's impossible now because you've now brought it back up. So you
Because I
solidified.
wanted to
They're gonna
say,
be like, wait, what?
if you stay long enough, if you're offended by the first comment, I want you to be less offended on
Right.
it because I've done it 4 times.
Come on, we got about 20 more minutes.
Real
Let's
quick,
go. Yes.
Governor Greg Abbott and Governor Ron DeSantis, who both, in my personal opinion, these views respect not part of this podcast, but so
and none of mine. Yeah.
I mean,
anything.
it's like an assault on blackness, bro. It's policies that are so not even good at being nuanced. They're so like blatantly ridiculous to me that all these that's was the fact. It wasn't the fact that you were playing devil's advocate. It's that we spent so much time on this ridiculously, obviously ridiculous thing. That's like, why are we even talking about? Because it's so ridiculous. No.
Ridiculously, obviously,
But check it out,
ridiculous
check it out.
thing.
We all know we talked about the Young Thug and like Gunna case and all that like before. There's this doc coming out, I think produced by ABC. It's on Hulu called The Rap Trap, right? And it has a bunch of different musicians, and it talks about how there's no other art form, there's no other form of media, there's no other ethnic group, there's no other thing that you can point to, and in legal history that points to people using their art, their poetry, their movie, their whatever against them in a legal case. And I went, it was like a DA that said, "Well, I mean, if you're gonna confess to your crimes against over a beat, I'm gonna use that. I'm sorry." But anyway, there's this whole back and forth about like how so much of like what we consume is used against us. We want to go to a PWI for whatever reason, and now they make it so impossibly hard, and they're taking away all the practices to get us in the faculty and in the student body.
But I see that as an opportunity for us to go to our to the places that we're welcome. Instead of fighting so hard to be in places that we're not welcome, going
That
to
sounds
like
good, but a lot of our HBCUs are crumbling because of lack of like
funding.
It's like waking up
scope
born.
and
It's like waking up born in a house you don't like, And then like,
Well, people you don't know.
yeah, and then like, you know, you can talk to like, I don't know, God or something like, hey, you born me in this house. And then
So
like,
what are y'all's reasons why we wanted to go to UT?
We can't just go nowhere.
What
else.
were your reasons why you wanted to go to UT?
That just was a really bad example. I wanted to go to UT because thank you.
Y'all gonna be honest?
Back in the moment.
Y'all gonna be
so
honest?
Important. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be very honest.
I've said it before.
I wanted to go to UT because I knew that it was the flashiest of the public universities in Texas. I really liked seeing alumni from UT, like even if they was white.
UT had great branding. And
yeah, they had great marketing. They're like the McDonald's of public universities.
Damn, y'all keep making these terrible comparisons.
I know that's
like I know the point you're trying to land on. But
yeah, like
McDonald's,
they're like the Tesla of.
Okay, can at least be a Chick-fil-A like McDonald's.
Of the
Chick-fil-A
universities.
is very anti-gay, and UT is very gay.
But also anti-black.
Yeah, that's it.
What?
Okay, so Chick-fil-A, aside from the fact that they let some franchisees be black.
So
actually, you're right.
So Dino, if you knew that UT was as anti-black as it was before you
went there,
sent your application, no. I'm asking you a hypothetical.
Oh, okay.
If you knew how anti-black it was, even though it was really, you said what?
I would also like to answer that same question.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So to both of y'all and to our listeners, if you knew that the university that you were going to, or that you went to, if you knew before you applied that it was anti-black or anti-whatever your ethnicity is, would you still? But it had the notoriety that it had attached to this name.
Does it have to be
and to this
ethnicity? Or can it
brand.
be like any point of identity, like anti-gay,
Anti-whatever, right?
Whatever. Yeah, let's.
If it was anti-whatever that you are,
Yeah.
right? That you identify as, but it was the flashiest, coolest, trending school of them all within your local community.
Or
would you still?
Could I add, or the best program? Because not everybody gives a fuck about Flash.
Yeah,
like,
and
it was the
I knew
best
that
blank school for
best
whatever you
whatever.
want to study.
I also knew that they were going to be.
If it was the
propelling
best,
me into
the
my
best
career.
of everything, like just best.
If right, the best positioning, best program, all of that.
Yeah.
But they were anti whatever you are.
Like black
would you
women.
still apply to that, knowing what you knew before?
I just had a epiphany.
So, and you should answer the question.
Applying.
You know why?
Are you going to answer the question or?
Yeah, it actually answers the question. So,
Okay.
Firstly, I want to say that I did not have the wherewithal as an 18-year-old to even realize that
register all that shit.
blackness was going to affect my goddamn education.
Yeah.
I had no clue. Like, I had black teachers through all, my grade school experience. I had a black mama who told me to do things above and beyond because I was a nigga, so I had that understanding. So it didn't really matter where I went. By the time I was 18, my mom had empowered me so much that I wouldn't, I couldn't fail anywhere,
Yeah.
But
In Texas.
I think I realized why Hot Wheels, which might sound very elementary here, but the way that you just marketed UT was like, we all did actually, was like, oh my God, this is the best of the best, this is the place that's going to set you up for life. And then I started imagining examples of people who were set up for life and they were all white. And then I'm like, oh wow, it allows you to advance yourself as if you're a white person in the world. It was the magic key to
puts you close to whiteness.
To privilege. It puts you so close to whiteness.
It's a PWI.
And it makes perfect sense why they would be doing any and everything to
control
gatekeep
the population. How many of y'all can touch this?
Actually, Hot Wheels, come see me, ho.
No,
Come see me and my friends.
It makes sense when you make that connection to the privilege of it. The inherent white privilege that comes from just being able to say, let's take a look at how many people.
Yeah, wow, damn, I cannot believe. Whoa,
Let's stop that.
Yeah, or as a matter of fact, he probably. Well, this is really, I'm reaching, but he probably looks around there's so many black successful people in corporate America, which is kind of held. Oh my God, there's so many successful black folks. How are these niggas getting these jobs? And he's fuck, we
No, look. He was at a UT. He was at a UT Olympus event, a fundraising event with all these regents and board regents. And then he looked and was like, "Damn, all these people with money.
God damn it.
There's a lot of them.
How did this happen?
Here with all this money. Y'all went to UT.
That year we let all top 10%.
Oh my goodness, we got it.
Here we are. 10 years later.
We look at this diversity hires.
It's too fucking diverse around here.
Bert, when do you become a doctor? Oh my God.
God damn it.
So in short, would you apply or not?
Oh, I'm so grateful for my life. Actually, I was still blind. But if I knew those things, I did not have the wherewithal. We didn't have the internet in the way that we have the internet
I have an answer that's similar, but it's different. I would say this.
Yeah, go ahead and PC it up, Dino.
No, it's not PC.
We know that you're going to do
Because
that.
I had an answer before he hopped in because he had to get his thought off. Before, like, I already had an answer to the question before you even finished that bitch. Here's the thing. It's not, you asked the question through the lens of, would you do UT if you knew it was the racist most, this most, the sexist most, but it was the best of everything? The thing about it is, I did do that. I already did that in real life. I knew UT was definitely, in many ways, I'm sure, racist. I can
Well, you implied that you didn't know.
No, I didn't. What I said was, the thing about it, bro, like I got canned from. I spent my summers in Mississippi.
So I didn't know how avert it was going to be.
I knew racism existed everywhere in every pocket and corner of America. So there's no PWI, especially, that I could go to where I did not think that was going to be part of my like experience. What I didn't know is to what extent. I didn't know niggas want to get bleach balloons thrown on them to make them white. Like bleach their clothes and them.
But you still wanted to go because of the.
I didn't know that shit was going to happen. No, that's crazy.
But why did you still want to go?
Because no matter where I went to, I could have went to Tech.
Right, they were all gonna be racist.
It would have been worse, or it would have been the same.
You don't know that.
No, nigga, what?
You don't know that because you never went.
Pause.
You don't know what you did.
I visited A&M and I can smell the racism.
Now did I visit places, bro? We all have friends who were also attending college at the same time as that we plugged into.
What about U of H or Texas State?
Those were too close. Wait, hold on.
U of H reminded me
Texas
of
State or U of H?
I can give it to you this way because you we're going across the map. So anything too close to home was just that, and it felt like an extension of high school. You got to realize I'm really from the city, so I didn't want nothing that was too close to home. I was already dealing with a lot of drama at that time. Y'all know. So I wanted to step somewhere out of the periphery of. That's old news. But here's the thing about it: I could have went to Tech. I could have went to A&M. I could have went to.
I looked at the
even OU as far as Oklahoma, just the periphery of where I'm from. In any of those major institutions that was a PWI, I was going to land in the same position or worse.
Okay, so why out of all of them? So if you looked at it as an even playing field for all of those schools that you just mentioned, then why pick UT out of all of them? Were you just like, I'm just going to throw them all in the hat, and then whichever one I pull out, then that's the school I'm going to go to? Out of the most racist ones, huh? Then why? Because it was the flashiest one, nigga. You know, that's the answer.
Say that.
Yeah, he's essentially like saying the same thing that Bradley said.
Is that what you're avoiding saying?
No.
Yeah, I feel like that's what he's. That's what he's doing.
Hold on. We can rewind and tape. What did I say at the very onset of this conversation?
You said it's like his point, but with a little bit more.
UT had what? Great
programs.
No, nigga. I said great.
That's what you said.
No.
Okay.
I said great branding and marketing.
Yeah.
Bro,
I don't remember you saying that.
I remember seeing commercials and they're fucking. I remember going to Walmart and seeing like UT jerseys and shirts and shit. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the school that got the most notoriety or the most merch at the very least. It wasn't a conscious decision where I weighed the options.
Yeah,
now, they did had a great program for everything.
Yeah.
We wanted to teach, be an architect, be an artist,
and that's why the branding was so good because they could back that shit up.
Yeah,
I don't want to give them too much because we're talking about their racist ways, but. Also, you made
they can back that shit up.
Yeah, like the playing ground. I knew that the world was already I was gonna be a disadvantage. But like, if I thought about it at the time, like I thought that there were some benign white people, and I thought they wasn't gonna do it out loud like that in Austin.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Like that
in the most progressive town in the entire state.
Yeah, in the fucking
you
state.
still run into it in such blatant ways. I wasn't prepared for that. But bro, come on, yo.
Did y'all do the college tours before you? Went to the school?
Like I said, I went to A&M and
so you did campus tours.
It was worse there. Oh my goodness! And I know people.
Did I ever tell y'all how I got to UT?
How?
Like I didn't apply. Like
most better.
No, like I was gonna audition for So You Think You Can Dance, but I ended up turning that down, and I went to audition for the American Musical and Dramatic Academy instead.
Okay. And
they had 2 campuses. I think they have more campuses now, but it was one in New York and one in California. And I auditioned. I got admitted, and they gave me a scholarship, but it wasn't nearly enough that I needed. Of
course.
And they went, and on top of that, they wanted to send me to California, and I wanted to go to New York for Broadway. And so, but they made me do like 2 contrasting monologues, and then my dance solo routine that I created like on the spot, and but they like loved me, and they wanted to right. But I was like, if y'all love me, then give me more money, right?
Bro.
Yeah, that's what I tried to tell Baylor actually.
And my grandmother was like, all right, if this is what you want to do, then I'm gonna support you the best way that I can financially. But I was just like, I'm not putting you through that. Yeah. I was like, if anything, I to do this, and so I was gonna sleep on it. I slept on it, and then the next day, I was just like, I think I want to take the more secure route, and then I went ahead and applied through the Applied Texas, where you applied for fucking and it was 2 weeks before school started. So it was at the beginning of August.
Did you go to late orientation?
Yes.
Me too.
No. What it's called, actually, you niggas, is emergency orientation.
Emergency orientation.
The very last chance you
So
get
I did that or whatever, and then it came down to A&M. A&M gave me a full ride scholarship.
That's where I met Jacob eating ass.
Listen.
Why was all the niggas at emergency
I
orientation?
met there, actually.
See how they do this?
All my best friends were there. Okay?
But actually, I forgot that I did consider Baylor. I also considered UNT too, because they actually was gonna give me a good amount of money to sing, but I was like, fucking Denton. I knew more.
That part.
I had the wherewithal to know that was not really Dallas. I was like, no, you're not about to do that to me.
So I guess JT's to his point.
Well, I didn't finish.
Like I knew that UT, but see, I guess what's throwing me off is the adjective flashy. It wasn't that it was flashy. I just knew that would be a good time, a good school. There'd be
let me finish my point. So,
like me, to
or
some
not
capacity.
point, but the story. So, I applied to all the schools, right? And then I got a lot of admittance letter. I got admitted to all the schools, right?
Yeah, we all did.
We all,
yeah, sure, cool. And then not playing,
not today,
but
the school.
How crucial it was for me. Like I was literally like the countdown was hot for me, and then and I didn't have time to go to all the different campuses, so I had to go based off of like what the little
internet.
pictures that I saw on the internet.
And how big the monitor
and then
was.
A&M. Hey, wait, stop.
Okay,
No, A&M gave me the most money. They gave me a full ride, but I turned it down because like I saw that when I went to their website, I saw the corp or the core or whatever, the fucking military stuff, and then the country and all that like that. I was like, what does A&M stand for? Agriculture, and I was like, I was like, yeah, I don't want to go to fucking Cowtown.
ROTC shit.
And then so then I looked, and I had never been to, and my audition was in Austin, and so I saw how liberal it was, and I was like, yo, this is dope.
You would have thrived.
And so that's how I ended up at UT.
Actually,
you would have fucking
you would have been a colonel
over there. No, because that shit is really militaristic over there.
Yeah.
It's like
if you want to go work
along those lines,
if you want to go work in the slave trade, absolutely, they will do you well.
You are perfectly primed.
They were hazing over there.
Yes.
Military,
what was
ROTC.
crazy
I ain't see a single black person at A&M.
Nah, fam. Not only that,
It wasn't. I didn't know. I never heard of College Town.
To it.
I never heard of College Station, and I was like, yeah, this is
My
enough.
little sister went to A&M. I'm gonna send her this clip back.
But the point that I'm trying to say, fuck A&M. I mean, like,
A&M is so
cool on
strange.
y'all if y'all graduated from there, you finished, great, and you got the ring, you drank the beer, and got to the ring and stuff. But no. Listen, I'm saying fuck A&M, not because of the rivalry, but just because, like, I just don't think it's a good place to go to school over there.
Mason jars and
Bro,
it's just not my steez. But the point that I'm trying to make is that I turned down a full. Listen, I turned down 3 full rides to different universities and chose to go to a school that I didn't receive a full ride.
Are we talking full ride like zero?
Yes,
or
zero. Like dollars out of my pocket.
Same.
They give me a full ride, and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm that nigga." Right?
Sorry, not the same on that. Sorry, I thought you meant like you ended up picking. So your point,
but
was
I still
that you picked
picked UT
where you didn't get that.
Exactly.
That same thing happened
right.
to me too. Like I turned down full ride experiences because I knew that was the shit.
I and I
spend something spending on that.
And you know when people ask you like, do you look back and regret anything? I don't regret the decision of choosing UT over A&M, and I don't regret turning down. Turning down like my dream to be a Broadway superstar.
It's like picking designer racism over like.
Even though I feel like that I did that in a lifetime, but anyways, all right.
Walmart budget.
So that's our episode. Essentially,
Okay,
I had a lot
that's
of
only okay because it's Black History Month. If somebody white that can fire me,
it's still a good
sees
episode.
this,
Oh, but hold on. I didn't finish this point. I got to bring this point home about racism.
Oh my god.
Last thing about racism because it's Black History Month.
Goodness.
Bro, I think it's terrible that they are able to prosecute. And first of all, it's bad that all these niggas are snitching, but it's so terrible.
It's so bad.
They are telling each other. They are not because that
What
they're
are you talking
snitching.
about?
I think it's okay that they're snitching.
And there's so much psychological.
There's like
Okay.
apparently there is a RICO case. There's 56 different charges on them, and they're all telling on each other. But here's the thing: it's not that. Sure, if you want to do that, do that. But the problem is that they're all doing it, and it's like the outcome of such is that they're able to still get. How do I say this without sounding like completely
amnesty?
Nah, like all these niggas.
Because that's why they're snitching, right?
Catching the bad end of the stick, even the ones who telling and getting out of the way.
Can you give context to what you're talking about for our listeners who don't know what you're talking about?
If
about
you
snitching?
don't know what this is at this point, and you are listening to the Potnas podcast, and you know what Potna mean, you've been under a rock. What we're talking about is the YSL case. The YSL case.
What does YSL stand for?
Well, depending on who you ask. That's the problem. Is that the label, the record label, affiliated and associated with Young Thug, and of course Gunna as well. Is
free one? Oh wait, he's freed.
Young
free
Slime,
already.
some shit.
He's free.
Some shit, right?
That
Whatever.
was
Yeah,
a
okay.
joke. He snitched
Hip hop
that out.
organization led by a hip hop artist.
But no, here's the thing. They're
Allegedly.
arguing that it's not a hip hop. They're
Right.
arguing that they are one and the same with
Criminal
YSL,
organization.
the criminal organization,
Yeah.
the gang enterprise in Atlanta, that is tied to many different nefarious activity, allegedly.
Racketeering and stuff, whatever, and then people
But it's
get
a RICO
locked
charge,
up.
so that's
Yeah.
what RICO is. It's a racketeering charge. But here's the thing about it that's so ridiculous. There's no other class, ethnicity, race, group of people
where their art
who are jailed as much as us. Period. Like, forget what you do, where you're from. Just we're the most incarcerated group of people in America. Period. Under
Okay.
any demographic measurement.
So the snitching part.
Wait, what? So
We gotta wrap up.
Hold on, we gotta follow the thread. So there's that, right? Boom. Then on top of that, we're the only group of people who evidence is used against, whose art form, whose stories, whose music, whose poetry is used against them in a case where there's no direct link to them and these crimes that is being committed by these other people. It's crazy to me. Like, you can point and say, Brad, because you know my nigga Nate, who graduated who went to
and
the
then
team
you
at the same
said
time as
my
you.
friend shot somebody. That was Nate, right?
And you said you knew him, right? You said Uche last time. You going to California? Y'all might see each other. Well, he just ran over, hit and run. I think you might
That's
know
exactly.
And you're
what
going
they
to
did.
now prison. That's what's so ill to me. And the real estate tie it back to this whole conversation about
They've conditioned us to snitch.
racism.
Yeah, they've conditioned us to
just crazy to
tell
me
on
that-
each other. Basically, is what you're saying.
Well, no, I think that ties back to a lack of ethics, if you want to use that term. Or
So what's the connection of
moral code is
racism to
different.
snitching then?
I don't
Why
know
bring it up?
So I have to say this: you have a thing where you get stuck on something, and we come back to it the Greg
No, I'm
Abbott
asking
thing.
you a
snitching.
question
I don't know
for-
why he come back to snitching, but the greater thread that
You
I'm
brought it
tying
up.
is about the abhorrent racism that I'm experiencing around us, and in the many different ways, whether it's entertainment, education, whether it's in governance, whether it's in media, whether it's in the Griner thing, that was racist. I mean, the fact that no matter everything we've talked about, the encircling the one thread that ties through it all is that.
Yeah,
I don't know how we.
Actually, every single news topic has something to do with racism.
It's crazy,
That's kind of interesting.
right?
you think the Jonathan
It is
Majors
America's
cover
flag.
has something to do with?
If that was-
I thought it tied
America's
into
flavor
emasculating.
race.
Give me a white guy.
First of all, it's on the
if that's-
cover of Ebony.
not Ed Sheeran. What's
Black magazine,
Who's a
a
white
black man
guy?
on a black magazine
Right.
cover.
Yeah,
And
Correct.
then he.
homophobia is real in the black community. He has flowers.
I'm sure we
he's
can
wearing
get there.
pink.
We can get to racism.
Okay, all right. I
Like,
see
we
what
ain't
you're
got the
saying.
time.
I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. So it's tied to race. Okay,
Yeah, but I
to
thought I
some
saw
extent.
positive things about that. They care. They don't mind his face looking like that.
Shut.
Like,
Okay.
what-
Okay, he about- now, this
What
is what
does his face?
Wait,
What does his face look like, Bradley?
Somebody said on Twitter,
This is racism.
like Whoopi Goldberg.
What the fuck?
Funny story. You said you made that joke, right?
No more stories.
no.
That's
Let's
it.
find this out. That's
All
my
right.
nephew.
We're overtime.
That's
Take
really-
us out.
that's her
Take us
nephew.
out.
In
Give.
real life.
Stop! You're lying.
That's what I'm saying.
On a
That's what's
pissy
crazy.
mattress.
That's her nephew.
You're lying.
Look it up.
God nephew.
Yeah, how you know? In Hollywood. That part. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So lead us in the toast, Dino, since you've made
I got
a lot
so
of.
much in my cup.
Hey, man. So do I. But we're going to take it down. Pause.
Ooh, it's just so nasty looking. All
I would
the
like
oil.
to touch and agree. I would like to toast to black excellence, to us standing in opposition to racism, and all of us being beacons
Yep.
to not only our media circles, our media ciphers, but to all of us who look like us, who want to do and see better. Touch and agree.
All right.
Touch and
Oh shit, I forgot the button. Sorry. Hey man, you spelled. Be careful, nigga.
Ooh, there. Right by the quads. The quads.
Don't contribute to this thing.
What? While saying "Hey nigga," just looking that up.
And I think all that is bullshit, by the way. Not coming from you, but just like the whole concept of it's gonna be a whole nother episode. I know we're leaving off with a big fucking bang right now. Like, oh, JT, you can't say that. But
what do you
if
mean?
we really believed in like a black metropolis that we're going to all voyage to.
No, I just want
day,
people to stop aggressing me racially.
Yeah,
that's it.
We don't have to
stop.
Go,
what?
Yeah.
Aggressing me.
Aggressing?
Just let me be. Just let me do me.
Right.
And let me
the
make
same
as
way you
much
can
money
wake
as I
up
want
every day
to.
and not worry about being white.
Be as successful as I want to, as educated, as beautiful, and handsome, and sexy, and all these things as I want to be, without having some form of something.
What do you mean by aggressing? Like forcing
Some
and
oppressive
implying
force
on me
that's working
to
in
be
opposition.
pro-black and to be
aggressing instead of oppressing. But yeah, I would like to wake up
something
one
that's
day
working in
not under
opposition to you,
oppression.
and even
Wait,
the
stop.
most nuanced.
Yeah,
Say that one more time.
I would simply like to wake up one day and not be oppressed. That would be nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then what were you saying?
Does
That's
nobody
the same.
Yeah,
Say the
Okay.
same thing.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all that we have for this
Love
episode.
y'all, mean it.
Yeah. We had some other content that we were going to get to, but we'll do that next week. Oh, and Bradley's not going to be here. Fuck. All right.
It's my birthday. I don't even want to come in virtually. on
Yeah,
that.
happy early birthday, B-Rad P. March 2nd. And then shout out to our partner that hasn't been on this season yet, but Courtney,
Also
you
March
share
2nd.
a
Oh, yeah,
birthday
yeah,
with
yeah.
Courtney. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
All right, follow the partners on all social media platforms, starting with Bradley.
Hey, y'all can follow me at Coolin and Poolin. That's COOLINANDPOOLIN.
Damn, that was long.
Dino.
I'm thinking about changing it.
You can find me at the dictionary. That's THE_DIXONARY.
You can find me at I Know JT. All right. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Potnas Podcast. That's POTNAS Podcast for all of our latest content. Visit our website, potnaspodcast.com, to stream all of our previous episodes. And then leave us a 5-star review if you enjoyed the episode and all of the great debate and back and forth
Hey, yeah. I'm about to start posting. Go check my page.
dialogue that we've had. Yeah, and apparently you got to put a fucking www dot in front of Potnas Podcast.
Please do
That's
that.
a ghetto.
Yeah.
That's from 1995.
Yeah, you need to resolve that dispute. with
Our manager
Buzzsprout.
getting old.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We love y'all. Peace.
Bye for now.
Peace.